The boy's hands wouldn't stop shaking. Please wake up. Please. 15-year-old Marcus pressed harder on the chest of the unconscious Korean teenager lying on the Seoul subway platform. Blood trickled from the boy's temple. His lips were turning blue. Stop. You're hurting him. A woman in a designer coat yanked Marcus's shoulder. Marcus didn't stop. He's not breathing. The paramedics said he's gone. Another bystander pulled at Marcus's torn jacket. Security. Get this homeless kid away. I said he's not breathing. Marcus's voice cracked as he positioned his hands again. He'd learned CPR from a YouTube video on a library computer 3 months ago. He never thought he'd actually use it. The crowd pressed closer. Phones pointed at them like accusations. Marcus could hear their whispers. Dirty, crazy. Someone call the police. Then the boy's chest lurched. He's breathing, someone gasped. The Korean teenager, maybe 16, 17, coughed violently. His eyes fluttered open, confused and terrified. Marcus sat back on his heels, his whole body trembling. Jun-seo, a man in an expensive 3-piece suit, shoved through the crowd, dropping to his knees. Jun-seo, can you hear me? His Korean was rapid, desperate. The teenager, Jun-seo, nodded weakly. Appa. The man's head snapped toward Marcus. His eyes were red, but his voice was ice. Who are you? What did you do to my son? I just, Marcus stammered. His English felt thick in his mouth. He'd only been in Seoul for 8 months since his mother died. He saved him. An elderly woman stepped forward. The boy saved your son. The paramedics had already given up. The suited man stared at Marcus, at his dirt-stained clothes, his worn-out sneakers held together with duct tape, the backpack that held everything he owned. His expression shifted from suspicion to something Marcus couldn't read. What's your name? The man asked in English, his accent polished. Marcus. Marcus Johnson. Mr. Kong. A woman in medical scrubs rushed over with a stretcher. We need to get Jun-seo to the hospital immediately. As they lifted Jun-seo onto the stretcher, the teenager's hand shot out and grabbed Marcus's wrist. His grip was surprisingly strong. Thank you, Jun-seo whispered in English. Then he was gone, swallowed by the crowd and flashing ambulance lights. Marcus stood alone on the platform as people dispersed, their phones already uploading videos. His hands were still shaking. He looked down and saw Jun-seo's blood on his palms. 3 days later, Marcus was digging through a convenience store dumpster in Gangnam when a black Mercedes pulled up to the curb. The same man, Mr. Kong, stepped out. This time, 2 men in dark suits flanked him. Marcus's first instinct was to run. Instead, he straightened up, clutching a half-eaten kimbap roll he'd salvaged. Marcus Johnson. It wasn't a question. Yeah. Mr. Kong approached slowly, like Marcus was a wild animal that might bolt. My name is Kong Dae-young. You saved my son's life. Marcus said nothing. He'd learned that silence was safer than words. Jun-seo had an undiagnosed heart condition. The seizure, the fall, the paramedics said there was nothing they could do. Mr. Kang's voice wavered. But you didn't give up. I just did CPR. For 7 minutes. While everyone else watched. Mr. Kong pulled an envelope from his jacket. This is for you. Marcus didn't take it. I don't want money. It's not money. Mr. Kong opened the envelope and pulled out a photograph. This is my wife, Jun-seo's mother. She died 2 years ago. Heart failure. His hands trembled as he held the photo. Jun-seo is all I have left. You gave him back to me. If this story is already touching your heart, hit that like button and subscribe. Because what happens next will change everything. Marcus's throat tightened. He knew what it meant to lose a mother. Jun-seo wants to meet you, Mr. Kong continued. Properly. To thank you himself. I don't need thanks. Maybe not. But he needs to give it. Mr. Kang's eyes were pleading now. Please. 1 meal. That's all I'm asking. The restaurant was the fanciest place Marcus had ever seen. Crystal chandeliers. White tablecloths. Waiters in tuxedos. He felt like a stain on expensive fabric. Jun-seo was already there, sitting by the window. His head was bandaged, but he smiled when he saw Marcus. You came. Jun-seo stood up too quickly and winced. Easy, Marcus said automatically. They sat in awkward silence. Then both started talking at once. I'm sorry. Thank you. They stopped. Jun-seo laughed, then grimaced and touched his ribs. The doctor said you have bruised ribs because of me, Marcus said quietly. From the CPR. Better than being dead. Jun-seo grinned. I'll take bruised ribs. A waiter appeared with more food than Marcus had seen in months. Bulgogi. Japchae. Kimchi. His stomach growled traitorously. Eat, Jun-seo urged. Please. You look homeless. Marcus supplied. Jun-seo's face reddened. I was going to say hungry. Marcus picked up his chopsticks. The first bite of bulgogi almost made him cry. My father told me you've been in Seoul for 8 months, Jun-seo said carefully. Living on the streets. Group homes before that. Foster care in America. Then my mom got sick and we came here because she was Korean. She thought. Marcus stopped. He never talked about this. She thought coming home would help. It didn't. I'm sorry. Don't be. At least I got to be with her. Jun-seo pushed more food toward Marcus. Where do you sleep? Subway stations. Parks. Wherever security doesn't kick me out. And school. Marcus shrugged. Can't afford it. No documents anyway. Jun-seo's expression changed, determination replacing pity. That's going to change. What? You saved my life, Marcus. Now, I'm going to save yours. Absolutely not. Mr. Kang's voice echoed through his office the next day. Marcus stood by the door, wanting to disappear. Appa, please listen. You want this boy to live in our house? A stranger? We know nothing about him. We know he saved my life. Jun-seo shot back. We know he's been surviving alone in a foreign country for 8 months. We know he's the reason I'm standing here arguing with you. Mr. Kang paced, his hands clenched behind his back. Jun-seo, I'm grateful. Truly. We've already given him money, which he refused. And I can arrange for housing assistance, job placement. He's 15, Appa. He needs a family, not a social worker. The silence was suffocating. Marcus finally spoke up. I should go. No. Jun-seo grabbed his arm. Appa, I almost died. Do you understand that? I was dead. And this person you're treating like a problem, brought me back. His voice broke. If Amma were here, what would she do? Mr. Kang froze. His face crumpled for just a moment before he composed himself. That's not fair, Jun-seo. Isn't it? Jun-seo's eyes glistened. You always said Amma taught you that kindness isn't convenient. That helping people isn't about what's comfortable. It's about what's right. Mr. Kang looked at Marcus, really looked at him. Marcus saw the calculation happening. The internal war between gratitude and fear, between duty and doubt. Finally, Mr. Kang spoke. 1 month. Trial period. You follow our rules. You respect our home. You go to school. Marcus's heart hammered. I can't pay. I'm not asking you to pay. Mr. Kang's voice was firm but not unkind. I'm asking you to try. Can you do that? Marcus looked at Jun-seo, who was grinning like he'd won the lottery. Then back at Mr. Kang, this powerful man who was offering him something he'd stopped believing existed. A chance. Yes, sir. I can try. Drop a comment below. Do you think Marcus made the right choice? And stick around, because this is just the beginning. The Kang mansion wasn't just big, it was intimidating. Marble floors, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul. Artwork that probably cost more than most people's houses. This is your room. Jun-seo opened a door to a space larger than any place Marcus had ever slept. A king-size bed. A private bathroom. A desk with a brand-new laptop. Marcus stood in the doorway, unable to move forward. This is too much. It's barely enough. Jun-seo walked in and sat on the bed. Marcus, I need to tell you something. The seriousness in his voice made Marcus tense. That day, on the subway platform, I didn't just collapse. Jun-seo's hands twisted together. I was running away. From what? From everything. My father's expectations. The pressure. Everyone comparing me to my dead mother. Jun-seo's voice dropped to a whisper. I took pills. Not enough to, but enough to make the pain stop for a while. Then my heart gave out. Marcus's chest tightened. Jun-seo. I wanted to die, Marcus. Tears streamed down Jun-seo's face. And you wouldn't let me. You fought for me when I had given up on myself. So no, this room isn't too much. It's not nearly enough. Marcus didn't know what to say. So he sat next to Jun-seo on the bed, and they stayed there in silence until Jun-seo stopped crying. School was its own kind of nightmare. This is the homeless boy. A girl in a designer uniform wrinkled her nose as Jun-seo led Marcus through the hallway of Seoul International Academy. His name is Marcus, Jun-seo said coldly. And he's smarter than half the people in this building. How would you know? Did you give him an IQ test while he was digging through trash? Marcus felt his face burn. He'd dealt with bullies before, but never ones wearing $1,000 watches. Min-ji, walk away. Jun-seo's voice was dangerous. Why? Your father forcing you to babysit charity cases now. Min-ji smirked. Everyone knows the only reason he's here is because I saved Jun-seo's life. Marcus stepped forward, meeting her eyes. Yeah, I was homeless. Yeah, my clothes came from donation bins. But I'm the reason Jun-seo is standing here, so maybe show some respect. Min-ji's face flushed red. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. Finally, she spun on her heel and stalked away. Jun-seo stared at Marcus with something like awe. Nobody talks to Min-ji like that. Well, I just did. You're going to fit in perfectly here. Marcus wasn't so sure. As they walked to class, he felt hundreds of eyes on him, curious, judgmental, calculating. Word had spread fast about the charity case living with the Kang family. But then a hand tapped his shoulder. Hey. A Korean girl with purple streaks in her hair smiled at him. I'm so young. I heard what you said to Min-ji. That was legendary. Thanks, I think. No, seriously. Min-ji's been queen bee here since middle school. Watching someone actually stand up to her. So Young grinned. You're officially my hero. Loving this story so far? Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what happens next. 2 weeks later, Marcus was starting to believe he might actually belong. His grades were good, better than good. His teachers were shocked to discover he'd taught himself advanced calculus using library computers. Jun-seo's father had even cracked a smile when Marcus got a perfect score on his first physics exam. But that night, everything fell apart. Marcus was studying in his room when he heard shouting downstairs. He crept to the staircase and listened. You're getting too attached. A woman's voice, sharp, angry. Marcus peeked over the railing and saw an elegant Korean woman in a business suit. He'd never seen her before. Ant hygiene, this isn't your concern, Mr. Kang said firmly. It absolutely is my concern. You're letting a street kid live in this house with Jun-seo? Have you lost your mind? That street kid saved your nephew's life. And you repaid him. Money, education, a roof over his head. You've done more than enough. But making him part of this family. Hygiene's voice rose. What happens when he steals from you? When he brings his street friends here? When he corrupts Jun-seo? Marcus felt sick. He started to retreat to his room, but Jun-seo appeared beside him on the stairs. Don't listen to her, Jun-seo whispered. She's right though. I don't belong here. You belong here more than she does. Downstairs, Mr. Kang's voice turned to ice. Hygiene, I'm going to say this once. Marcus is under my protection. He's proven himself to be honest, hardworking, and kind, qualities that seem to be lacking in many people I know who were born with silver spoons. You're making a mistake, Dae-young. Then, it's my mistake to make. This conversation is over. The door slammed. Hygiene was gone, but her words lingered like poison in the air. Marcus turned to go back to his room, but Mr. Kang's voice stopped him. Marcus. Jun-seo. Come down here. They sat in Mr. Kang's study, Marcus and Jun-seo on one couch, Mr. Kang across from them in his leather chair. I know you heard that, Mr. Kang said quietly. Marcus nodded. I can leave. I don't want to cause problems. You're not causing problems. Hygiene is. Mr. Kang leaned forward. But I need to be honest with you both. There are people, many people, who won't understand what we're doing here. They'll judge. They'll gossip. They'll try to tear this apart. Let them, Jun-seo said fiercely. Mr. Kang smiled sadly. It's not that simple, son. My company, our reputation, everything is built on perception. If people think I'm making poor decisions, if they question my judgment. So you're saying Marcus has to leave? Jun-seo's voice cracked. No. Mr. Kang looked directly at Marcus. I'm saying I need to know that you're committed, that you're willing to face the criticism, the whispers, the challenges. Because they will come, Marcus. They will test you in ways you can't imagine. Marcus thought about the subway platform, about Jun-seo's hand grabbing his wrist, about the past 2 weeks, the first time in his life he'd felt like maybe, just maybe, he had a family. I'm not going anywhere, Marcus said. Unless you're kicking me out. I'm not kicking you out. Mr. Kang's expression softened. But I am setting a condition. Marcus's stomach dropped. Here it comes. I want you to tutor Jun-seo in mathematics and science. His grades have been slipping since his mother died. You excel in both subjects. Mr. Kang paused. Can you do that? Marcus blinked. That's the condition. You thought I was going to ask for something terrible. Mr. Kang almost smiled. Marcus, you're not a charity case. You're not a burden. You're a brilliant young man who deserves every opportunity. But if you're going to live here, you're going to contribute. Not because you owe us, but because that's what families do. Families. The word hit Marcus like a wave. I can do that, Marcus said, his voice thick. I can definitely do that. 3 months passed. Marcus and Jun-seo became inseparable, brothers in everything but blood. Jun-seo's grades improved dramatically. Marcus discovered a love for teaching. Mr. Kang started introducing Marcus as my son's friend, instead of the boy Jun-seo knows. But late one night, Marcus woke up to voices in the hallway. Appa, you need to see this. Jun-seo sounded panicked. Marcus opened his door and found Jun-seo holding his phone, his face pale. What's wrong? Jun-seo showed him the screen. It was a news article with a photo from the subway platform, the day Marcus saved Jun-seo's life. The headline read, Homeless American boy revives Korean billionaire's son after doctors declare him dead. It went viral, Jun-seo whispered. 3 million views in 6 hours. Mr. Kang appeared, already dressed despite the late hour. His face was grim as he read his own phone. The press is outside the gates, Mr. Kang said. Dozens of them. By morning, this house will be surrounded. What do we do? Jun-seo asked. Mr. Kang looked at Marcus for a long moment. Then he smiled, really smiled, for the first time since Marcus had met him. We tell the truth, Mr. Kang said. We tell them that Marcus Johnson isn't just a boy who saved my son's life. He's the boy who saved our family. He placed a hand on Marcus's shoulder. Tomorrow, we face them together, as a family. Marcus felt tears sting his eyes. For the first time since his mother died, he wasn't alone. Together, Marcus repeated. Jun-seo grinned and pulled them both into a hug. Together. The next morning, Marcus stood between Mr. Kang and Jun-seo in front of the mansion gates. Cameras flashed. Reporters shouted questions. But Marcus didn't look away. My name is Marcus Johnson, he said clearly. And this is my family. The story that started on a subway platform had become something bigger. Something that would change not just Marcus's life, but thousands of others who felt forgotten, invisible, worthless. Because sometimes, the most unlikely hero isn't the one who saves a life. It's the one who teaches us all what it means to be saved. If this story moved you, smash that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment telling us what part hit you hardest. See you in the next one.